$1,200 stimulus checks to you by the third week of August. Evictions, unemployment, a lot of info. Let's get started. Hey everybody, my name is Randy. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to give you a second stimulus check update. So let's cover the basics. Here's what we know. Republicans actually just laid out their plan on Monday for what they want to do for the second stimulus plan, which includes $1,200 per person stimulus checks for everybody. And that's going to be predicated on the same eligibility format as what the first round of stimulus payments were. So basically, they're going to use your 2018 and 2019 tax returns to see if you are eligible, which of course, pretty much everybody is eligible. So on Monday, Republicans laid out their plan dubbed the HEALS Act. And so as of now, like I said, it's going to be $1,200 per person and $500 per child. The Democrat HEROES Act that was passed back in May, it actually limited the number of dependents that you could claim and get stimulus money for to 3 children. The Republican plan that was just laid out has no stipulation on how many dependents or how many children that you can claim. The other thing it did was in the first round of stimulus, adult dependents over the age of 17, you could not get stimulus money for. That has been changed in the proposal that the Republicans just rolled out. So those dependents that are over the age of 17 will be able to get claimed for stimulus money. Individuals that have no income or have not filed a return will still be eligible for the stimulus, much like the first round of the stimulus. And so since negotiations between Republicans and Democrats have kind of been dragging on, pressure is starting to ramp up that they need to get something done. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell basically just said, don't worry guys, we'll get something done. We know we need to get something done. Even though several people on both sides of the aisle had said that we're pretty far apart on negotiations. And from my research, it sounds like it's largely revolving around unemployment benefit checks, as well as the eviction moratorium. So as of right now, the HEALS Act, which actually protects money from any federal or state collections, much like the first round, but if you owe child support, that money will be held and directed towards the intended child. So like I said, it looks a lot like the first round of stimulus. It's going to be basically $1,200 per person, $500 per child, with few stipulations, but your eligibility largely revolving around what your tax return said. All right, unemployment benefits. Let's get into this. This seems like a hot button sticking point between Republicans and Democrats, some of which they can't really agree on. So on Monday, the Republicans rolled out their plan. They wanted to decrease the unemployment benefit check, that bonus check that was coming with unemployment benefits of $600. They wanted to decrease that to $200. That part of the proposal actually got a lot of pushback, and Senator Rob Portman actually chimed in to say that there could still essentially be some wiggle room that Republicans are willing to negotiate. So there could be some increase on that $200 per week unemployment bump. We don't know what that would look like yet, but since it indicates that it's such a hot topic and it was pushed back on so hard, that there might be a little bit of wiggle room in order to get it done quickly. The main concern, especially that the Republicans have, is that it looks like research showed that 68% of the people earning unemployment benefits were actually earning more than they made at their previous job that they were laid off from. And according to this, actually almost 20% of people were actually making double than they previously were at their job before. Now, the biggest problem or the concern about that is that there's going to be a hesitation to go back to work, and understandably so. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody made more. Now, certainly there was a large chunk of the unemployed population that did make less, and obviously that's unfortunate. But overall, there's a concern that there'll be hesitation on workers wanting to actually get back to work. But overall, there seems to be kind of a market concern in terms of being able to rehire previous employees. Here's where the problem is, because businesses that took PPP money would actually have to give it back if they were not able to rehire those employees, which would not be good for the businesses. Part of the HEALS Act actually includes $300 billion for businesses as tax breaks and retention benefits, basically extended money to business to help them rehire previous employees. Also discussed actually a few months ago was $450 return to work bonus, basically, that would be added onto workers' checks to kind of incentivize them to want to go back to work. So far, this has not been included in the Republican stimulus plan. Doesn't mean that it will not, but so far nobody's made mention of it. Marco Rubio actually proposed something where small businesses will be able to get or take a loan out at a smaller interest rate, and have said basically have a 20-year payback, basically giving more structure to small businesses to be able to get money to help them pay employees and get back on their feet. All right, let's get to evictions here. Obviously, this is something that nobody really wants. President Trump said we need to work on the evictions so that people don't get evicted, showing that he doesn't want this time frame to be about kicking people when they're down. Obviously, both sides of the aisle are against it, and so it's something that will be worked out. I expect something to be fully worked out both by Republicans and Democrats in terms of extending that eviction moratorium. Because that's just not the time of year for that. So that's going to be it. This was actually my first video on my channel here. I want to actually extend a welcome to my channel called The Late Night Grind, because it's going to be focusing on mainly about, when this is your second job, when you're working late at night on that side project, on that side hustle, on this YouTube channel. So I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so that you know when I come out with a new video, which will be frequently because I'm going to be giving stimulus check updates. It's something that I have a lot of interest in, and I find it just generally fascinating. On top of it, I kind of wanted to know how much my family and I will be eligible for as well. So again, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe and check back for stimulus check update videos, as well as I'm going to have other business, marketing, finance related videos on this channel as well. So I'd really appreciate it. All right, thanks a lot. I'll talk to you again. Bye.